You want to succeed in life? You want to succeed in trading? Your home life's got to be right. You can't be of two minds. And if you're out there thinking, well, I'm with her for right now. She's my right now thing. She's my right now girl. My side piece. I keep it from her view. If you're living like that, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to fucking fail in trading. You're going to fail. Because what you're doing is all for you. Just you. You have no purpose, no measurement, no guidelines, no boundaries, like a cowboy, like a drunken cowboy. And you can't sustain that kind of stuff. Sure, you might get a lick here and there, catch a little bit of this and catch a little bit of that and look real good. But eventually what happens, you're going to see something else that catches your eye. And you're going to step outside that relationship that you have with that right now girl and your side piece to chase something else. Because you have no morals, you have no character, and you have no discipline. And you're not happy. So you're with that person right now, occupying a space that you're really reserving for someone that you probably will never meet. Because you keep making all poor decisions. You're placing yourself in bars on the weekend, wasting your friggin' money, smoking weed, drinking too much, doing stuff you shouldn't do, instead of focusing on where are you going to be in 10 years? Where are you going to be in 5? Are you going to be able to support yourself? How about a family? You see how things are expensive right now? Jobs ain't doing it anymore, folks. You got to find ways to make money. And there's no better way than what we do in trading. You can write your own check, but you can't do it if your head's not right. So this is what I mean when I say, you gotta fix a lot of things, and you discover a lot of things. Many times I've had emails from men saying, listen, I've been trying to do this and I'm failing and I'm not being able to find consistency and I lose and I do stupid things. And the first question I ask them all the time is, how's your home life? Well, I'm with somebody that doesn't believe in me and I'm trying to impress them and try to, right, there you go, there's your problem. That's why I was messing up. I changed my direction in trying to impress someone that didn't want to be with me, that never, ever, ever gave me those words of encouragement, cheated on me, and then I find someone new who did everything opposite. And I wasn't trying to impress her with, I'm smart. I wasn't trying to impress her with, I made X amount of money, but risking too much. What kind of message would that be? Because she's asking for the analytics. How much did you risk to make that $11,000? $1,200. Wow, that's good. Wow, that is really good. What is she processing in her mind? Remember, she's going to school, Bill Julie. She's in her third year of business management. She's thinking, this guy's a keeper. He's not a gambler. He's not recklessly plunging ahead. So if I got with him, he's not going to lose the mortgage, lose the house, lose everything. He's not going to put our nest egg, if we're putting it, aside for the future. He's not going to put us in the poorhouse. I recognize that. I'm thankful that I was able to be astute enough at the time to recognize that. Because if I would have been the cowboy I was trying to get my ex back, I think that I probably would have sowed some discouragement. And because I was transparent with her, and she was sincere. She never poured it on thick. She never said over the top, embellishments of, oh, well, you're just amazing. She just, out of the blue, we would be sitting there and she'd think to herself, and she, you know what? I was thinking about this today. Like, you literally look at those things on that paper, because back then it wasn't like we have it right on our phone. We could just push a button. I had to physically draw the charts, open, high, low, and close. And I was doing it with like 18 markets. Tedious, very stupid. Should have just picked one. And my real success came when I came to just one and two markets, bonds and S&P. But she would say to me, like we would be in the mall, and she would turn to me and she starts smiling. She says, I think it's crazy that you do what you do and you can make money doing that. Like, that's wild. She never asked for anything. She never asked for anything. The girlfriend got an $11,000 engagement ring in 1993. Do the math on that. Do the inflationary markup on that today. That was the biggest one I could get at Nusinoff at the time. Charles Nusinoff. And why did I go there? Because Sharon, her mother, said, listen, we already accept you, but at least check the display down there. I'm like, okay, well, I got to make sure mommy looks, like she's got it together. I had to give back the Lippmann's marquee diamond ring that I got her. That was the one she said yes to. But when we were in Harbor Courts Hotel at the restaurant, and I was kneeling down in my attempt to hide my shaking, trembling knee because everybody was staring at me. So you hear me in the way I talk. I'm not that way in person. I'm quiet. I'm reserved. I'm always sitting in the room with my back in the corner and I'm observing everyone else. I don't walk in the room and try to command and own the room. But you would expect that the way I talk to you in these presentations or in my videos. Why? I have authority in that area, that arena. I have authority there. But if you meet me, you're not on the other side of my trade. You're meeting me as the person, Michael. I'm very reserved. But when I was on my knee proposing to her, I was scared to death because I saw everyone else looking at me. And I was thinking to myself, am I lucid dreaming right now? Or is this real? Because if it's not real, I don't want to wake up. That's how good it was. And I was afraid that they could see inside me and see all the frailties of me being afraid that I would lose this at any moment. At any moment, this would all fade away. Could they see that in me? Could they peer into my soul and see the underlying fear of me not having this anymore? I didn't want to lose it. Making money, secondary. Securing a life partner that believed in me, that literally told her friends when I met them, this is my boyfriend, and then eventually became, this is my fiance. Oh yeah, how you doing? So what do you do? She finishes it for him immediately. He scribbles on charts and money jumps into his bank account. And her girlfriend Ginger was like, what? I was like, well, it's a little bit more involved than that, but that's a nice way of being an icebreaker. And then it was a very easy way for me to open up because otherwise I would not talk. And she knew that about me. What did she do, man? She tapped into my strength. She didn't put me on a spot and embarrass me. Ladies, that's a lesson for you. And it allowed me to come out of my shell. Now, insecurities creep in later. I'm making big money, really big money. And I have a particular family member who I had a lot of trust in. And they sowed an idea in my head that started taking over. And I can look back now and see it's the enemy, but I didn't recognize it then. What happens if she's just with you for your money? And while she never asked for anything, she never had to. I would always ask her mother, is there anything that she wants right now? And I would leave it on her bed. I would get her keys and put it in her trunk and then tell her, hey, look, can you check your trunk? I think I left my hat. And she'd find it. I would do stuff like that all the time. But I knew enough to know that she was sincere about the encouragement she gave me. But this family member made me start thinking, Am I really pouring on too thick, buying her affection when she had already given it to me beforehand? I lost sight of that. What was I doing? I was worrying about the money. Just like that happens in your trading. When you worry about the money, you lose. You make stupid decisions. And I made a dumb decision. I made a very, very dumb decision then. You gotta be careful how I say these things because it makes it sound like I'm regretting being married to my wife. I'm not regretting at all being married to my wife. But I can tap into my younger years and tell you and relive them. If I hand you my diary, it would be just like I'm saying it right now. It reads like a novel. I have always looked back and thought to myself, how would my life be if I wouldn't have listened to someone give me the worst idea to focus on, worrying about an outcome that never probably would have ever happened? The enemy introduced what if thinking again on the toxic level. See, I didn't look at Shannon every day and think, what if this doesn't go well? What if this doesn't, until this person, my family member, said, look at all the money you're making right now. I can see it now as jealousy and envy, and they wanted to disrupt a storybook ending to a very, very rotten beginning of a life. And that's what family does. I hate to admit it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I know, some of you will say, no, not my family. Listen, if you look around, there's one in your family. There's one that everybody wishes didn't come to the cookout. There's always one of them that says, well, he's got some issues. She's got some issues. And unfortunately, as a young man, that's the one that held a whole lot of influence over me as a young man. And then because that idea was placed in my head, what happened? I started looking for signs that, is she a gold digger? Is she a gold digger? No, she never was. But I was looking for it. And if you look for it hard enough, you'll find it. And I never called her outside of her name. I was never rude. But I just told her, I said, I don't think this is going to work out anymore. And she was upset. She cried like crazy. Like, I didn't do anything. I know you didn't. You didn't do anything. But I can't do this anymore. And you know what she did, guys? Listen to this. She gave me my ring back. Ladies, you're laughing right now, aren't you? Ain't no way I would have gave it back. That's mine. That's mine. And I didn't ask for it. And in fact, I told her, I said, I didn't ask for the ring. And I gave it back to her. And she goes, it's mine if you give it back to me with your name. And if I don't have your name, I don't deserve the ring. I'm going to tell you right now, my wife today would have never done that. And that's not a knock against her. But I'm just telling you the stark contrast. And that was my last sign I was making a mistake, and I still didn't see it. Because I was worried about the money. I latched on to bad experiences. My previous wife left me. And I didn't have anything. Just a promise that I'm going through school, and when I get out, we're going to do good. Now, I wasn't trading then. I wasn't even trying to trade. But I was trying to have her believe in me, and she didn't. And here's this young lady who I followed home, drove up and down 2 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the morning, trying to find where her car was, and then left a note with her brother for her to call me. And we got together like that. That's crazy town, ain't it? And she says, if you give me your last name, then I deserve the ring. But because I'm not getting your name, I don't deserve the ring. Now, that was the beginning of just total craziness. I was back in that middle of the sea without a rudder, no sail, and regretting. And she got with someone else, so I couldn't go back to her. And here I am, looking at these charts, figuring out, what am I going to do now? And I lost my support structure. I lost my accountability agent, the person that kept me in line. And I started pursuing stupid stuff. Doing this and doing that, recklessly doing this, and listening to some goober on the internet. wasting money. Even tried to do Larry Williams, eventually trying to take his S&P signals on his 900 number. I never made money doing it. I couldn't afford the stop loss he was using. I thought I could. I was like, well, I won't risk that much. He's good. He's good at trading. His stop loss ain't gonna get it. So I would do like 1/4 of what he's risking, and I'd get stopped out or scared out of it and get out of the trade. So I never made money. I was doing all the wrong things.